Hello, welcome to this class on command line commands. And obviously, since it's in my hacking course, it's going to be oriented towards command line commands that you need to use Metasploit and Armitage and some of the other tools we covered. But you can use it for anything else. This also stands alone. What I recommend that you do is below this video on YouTube, there's a link to a Google document that has all these commands on it. So I think that'll make it easier if you download that before we get started. And we're going to try to cover things. And again, if you're really pretty good with command line, no need to watch it. But if you're not, this is going to be a review of stuff that we've done so far in the home network lab class and the capture the file stuff and things like that. So hopefully this will be worth your while if you're watching it. Okay, one of the things on you're going to start out with Windows command line tools. Always remember, no matter how simple the command or whatever, like even ping, has a whole bunch of options that you can find out about just by doing a dash question mark. So, if you're ever stuck, so I would say, I would say that the slash question mark is the most important command at the command line, because with that command you can find out all about the other commands. So one of the things that you need to do if you're doing some networking or setting up your home lab is you need to connect disconnected clients. This is a pretty common activity. So the way I like to do it is I like to use the TCP/IP protocol layers. And of course, doing it that way starts out with a physical layer, so make sure everything is turned on and your physical networking gear is all squared away. And that includes things like testing the cables. After you do that, to connect a disconnected client, we want to ping localhost. And this command allows us to make sure that the TCP/IP protocol stack is enabled on the machine that we're using. Let's go ahead and look at how we set up our command line in Windows, since we're going to be using it quite a bit. There's a little icon by where it says command.exe. If you select that icon and then select properties, the two important things are quick edit mode and insert mode. Quick edit mode allows the functionality of the up and down arrows to scroll through the last commands that you've executed, and that's a really handy feature. The insert mode lets you copy and paste, so but both of those are good. So after we do that, we need to get over and get the the configuration. So we'll do an ipconfig and run over and get the DNS server and things like that, because that's what we'll need as we troubleshoot the disconnected client. Now this prints out quite a bit of stuff, but it's broken down for stuff that's the same for all the interfaces, so the Windows IP configuration. Then it breaks it down by the network adapter. So if you have several network adapters, which you should have if you're running VMware, you'll have pretty lengthy printout, but that's okay, because you're just going to be interested usually in the first few top one or two adapters. So on this one, we're going to get the information on the default gateway, because that's the next thing we're going to ping, and that information is right here. So with this insert mode, you just right click that, use the up arrow to bring down the ping command that we just did, use the backspace key, and then we'll ping our default gateway. Now this, the ping localhost, I look at it as you're checking out the inner networking layer. With the ping default gateway, that's a transport layer. You're looking to, you're checking to make sure that the packets are transferring over the network interface card. Once you get that, then you can go ahead and ping out of the local area network. So we could ping a DNS server, kind of killing two birds with one stone, making sure we have a good connection to the internet and making sure our main DNS servers are up. And I like 4.2.2.2 and 8.8.8.8. The 8.8.8.8 one is a Google server. Okay, at this point we'd be ready to test the application layer, and usually the easiest way to do that is just fire up a browser and go to a common website like CNN.com. Okay, so at this point, after we've launched a browser, I'm not sure what I have on this machine. Let's see. Boy, I only have IE on here. That's pretty surprising. This will, take a while, obviously, since this browser's not configured. Just going to load with all the default settings. Oh, okay, here we go. Well, MSN, you could use that just as easily. Here you have the U.S. government saying, "Oh, don't worry, go back to sleep." So I'm pretty sure that's current. So, the idea, though, when you do use a browser to test the application layers, you want to go out there generally and go a few layers deep to make sure you're not getting a cached copy of things. Yep, we're going to need that. So you want to go in. Angela Jolie's wedding. Yeah, that's current story today. So that's, if it's cached, it's very recent. Ah, 20 top used cars. Well, that's an interesting article. Let's go ahead and go there. So, okay, yeah, so we're a couple links in, so we can be pretty sure that this is live internet connection here. I'm getting this number thing going off and on. Don't worry about that. I have a Logitech wireless network, and for some reason my virtual machines don't like it too much. Otherwise it works good, but this numlock thing, I don't know why. But because it's a virtual machine on a wireless keyboard. Okay. So we're able to access the internet. How about the local area network? Let's see what we got on that. One of the real basic commands that gets you around the local area network, just looking at resources and stuff, is netview. And that sometimes will take a while to load. And that looks like a browser. Wow, that's kind of unusual. That looks like I have a browser, a TiVo, and a and my wireless access point. Let's try it on my regular host machine. So again, the command is netview. Needed to spell it right. Okay, so and there's a few reasons. That's a virtual machine that we were running netview out of, and it may not have its net BIOS table populated. Another thing that causes problems with the netview command is if you're in different work groups. So let's check that on my virtual XP machine. see what work group we're in. What you do to do that is you right click on My Computer and select Properties. I doubt if I'm in the right work group. And then click Computer Name. And we could put this in. And network ID, is that what I want? Not really. Let's see. Yeah, okay. This is the setting I want, which is work group, and I think mine is based on my last name, Staub, for Stauber. Let's change the name of this computer to Virtual XP is what we want. Let's do VM XP. It's going to want to reboot, and I'll do that offline because I'm not done doing these commands yet. Or won't. Wait, it doesn't. Usually when you do that, yeah, restart. So I'm going to leave that up and just click on this to bring it over there. And when I'm done with this, I'll do that. That should give me a more consistent reading with my net view command, though. That's why I did it. So net view, let's you can enumerate these resources a little bit. Use the up arrow, net view, and let's go into our file server there, which is the link station quad. Okay, so that's some of the shares that are on the link station. Now, can I drill down even further? I kind of wonder, I'm curious what's in that media file. And if I'm hacking this network, this would be a good way to get some good tunes maybe or something without letting the owner of the device pay for the license fee. So let's see if it'll let us do this. And it won't, because we're going over a network connection. It's not going to let us enumerate the actual files and things. So how do we do that? Well, there's another command called net use. And what you do here is you have to come up with a drive letter that's not in use. I think N's not in use. I could find out real quick here. Having all these virtual machines up slows it down. Plus unfortunately I started with some applications open. Okay. Let's just make double sure here. Let's make sure we got the right read out there. There we go. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I could use N. I have a few options available as far as drive letters. Let's use Z. Net use Z, and then we'll do the we'll connect to that share that we had out there, the LS quad. Now that should map that share. We'll see if it does. Okay, it did. Let's check it and see if it's showing up. And there it is down there. Now if we change directories, but we have to also change a drive to Z, we should be able to enumerate those files and folders. So that changed our directory to Z. let's go dir. Now, another command that's real important in Windows, and I know this is kind of basic, but is the change directory. So let's change directory to the music folder. And then if I do a dir, we should be able to enumerate those shares over the network, which we did. So that was good. Let's go back to our XP box. Now we can, one thing that you're going to do a lot of is making flag files and things like that. And a quick way to do that, where you don't have to worry as much about the extension and things, is just to do it from a command line. So in order to do that, we use the command copy console, but we can just put con, and then we'll go flag file, text. Now this is going to put whatever it is you want in there, so things like passwords and stuff. As a reminder, Metasploitable, the image that we use for an exploitable Linux machine. Password is msfadmin. Another thing that's good to do is put the date in, and you want the date to make sure you didn't get the wrong flag file or otherwise mess up somehow. But by dating it, you know exactly, provided that date's the same as when the contest is going on, it'll be some more verification you got the right thing going on here. So now we could do Control Z. Whoops, we do this on a new line. Control Z and then hit Enter, and that put that file in our C drive. So let's go look at that just to double check it. Yeah, there it is. It's the fourth item down. Flag file. Okay, let's move on. Some DOS network tools that are nice to use, pretty functional, good to know about is first one is netstat, and that shows what applications are looking at the network interface card, and that has some options like netstat NA is a common one. It gives you a ordered list by IP address and ports, and gives you the status. There are other ones, so to find out what those other ones are, we use our most famous command line command, which is in Windows is dash question mark. Then some other ones are trace RT, and that uses the time to live field at a low setting and increments it each time to give you the infrastructure between you and a remote host. And you can again use the help command on that. Another real common one is ARP. You can look at your ARP cache by doing a -A, and mine's not very full. XP has a lot less in there than Windows 7. Microsoft got wise to their command line and put more loopback addresses and things. If you run this on a Windows 7, you'll likely see more stuff. Another good one is NSLookup, and that actually goes out to the server and asks it to ID itself. So in our case, the DNS server we used earlier was 4.2.2.2. And it gives us a little bit of information. Level 3.net. So it doesn't give us a huge amount of information, but it does give us a little bit. A better tool for discovering remote hosts would be Sam Spade. And I'm going to type that in the notes. Sam Spade is available from Major Geeks. No longer available from its developer. So I'm putting that in the notes so you'll remember that. And that's a good, what it'll do is Sam Spade doesn't actually go out to the server, which is a little more stealthy too, isn't it? If you actually are doing an NS lookup on a server, that server could potentially know that you're trying to get information about him. Give it a head, give the administrator over there a heads up. Whereas Sam Spade will go into the INANA and other databases of registrar databases of IP addresses, and it'll do queries in that database, which is of course totally separate from the server. So you can do that without the server knowing about it. But still, sometimes just get a quick NS lookup to find out a little bit of information. NS lookup is a good tool for that. And again, there's a lot of tools that we're not going into, but we're just doing the major ones. Another one is net show. And you can do it that way, or you can do net show. And that gives you some of the options. Net show is a pretty detailed, gives you a lot of configuration options, and it kind of is a little bit like Cisco iOS in that if you just put the command option you want, it puts you in that command context. So let me show you what I mean. So we'll just do the net show. Oops. The way you normally do it is like this, net show. And it puts you in the net show context, so you could go and that'll give you the further context. So you could go net show, and if you just type interface, it'll put you in the net show interface. You have to spell it right though. Find out what the options for the interfaces are. And like I say, students that have used Cisco iOS a lot find this kind of similar because it changes the command line based on what context you're in. So let's do show config instead. So that gives you kind of some of the same options that or some of the same configuration information that you'd get with ipconfig. This is a little easier for administrators to script and things like that. Just do exit to get out of here. Another important one for pen testers, and let's see how far I can get into the context of this, is firewall. I don't think delete will give me a context because you have to do a full command. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but the command I wanted to show you is, let me exit out of here so I could do the whole command. I think less confusing. Is net show firewall delete port opening. And you put something like TCP 80. So that's going to close port 80. Now if you go up here, you can also open ports with this. This gives you kind of a quick way to open ports on the on the host firewall. So you could let's see, how do you open a port? Am I in the right? I think it's just is it open? I think it's open. Open port and then like 80 TCP, like that. So it gives you a way to open and close ports. I don't see the option in here, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Put the wrong one in there. Oh, okay. You could, yeah, set. Could be like this. Set, open, like that. 80 TCP. So, that's a good one to use if you're, you know, doing some pen testing. You just need to open a single port or something like that. Okay, that's it for simple DOS commands. Thanks for watching this.